Welcome to Brain Buds, the place where psychology becomes simple stories. Today, we're diving deeper than ever into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood topics in personality science: introversion and extraversion. Most people think introverts are shy and extroverts are loud, but the real story is far richer, more complex, and rooted in brain biology, childhood temperament, and the environments we grow up in. To explore this properly, we'll follow the lives of two children, Jay and Anne, who represent two different ends of the personality spectrum. Their story will help us understand Carl Jung's ideas, Hans Eysenck's neuroscience updates, Jerome Kagan's temperament research, and how modern schools and workplaces can help both personality types thrive. This is the most complete explanation of introversion and extraversion you'll ever see, and once you understand it, you'll see people, maybe even yourself, completely differently. Let's begin over a century ago with Carl Gustav Jung in Switzerland. In the 1920s, Jung introduced the terms introversion and extraversion, believing that people differed in where they direct their mental energy. Introverts, he said, turn inward toward thoughts, ideas, imagination, and the world inside their mind. Extroverts turn outward toward people, activities, adventures, and the world outside themselves. Jung never believed these traits were opposites, more like two forces inside every person, with one usually more dominant. Fast forward a few decades to the 1960s, when psychologist Hans Eysenck added a new layer: brain arousal levels. Eysenck proposed that introverts have naturally higher baseline brain activity. This means their nervous system is already running at a higher intensity, so they can become overstimulated quickly. For them, quiet environments feel soothing, and too much noise or rapid interaction becomes draining. Meanwhile, extroverts start at a lower baseline. Their nervous systems crave stimulation, movement, conversation, unpredictability. This helps them feel engaged and energized. Now, let's meet Jay, a bright, energetic, irresistible ball of chaos. Jay is an extrovert by nature. The moment he arrives at school, he comes alive. He greets people by name, nickname, or whatever funny title he invented for them. He thrives in noise. He creates excitement wherever he goes. If there's a group, Jay is inside it. If there's a game, Jay is organizing it. If there's silence, Jay breaks it. Jay is the type of kid who starts recess by joining a football match with strangers, then switches to a new group 5 minutes later because someone else invited him to play ping pong. His energy increases with each interaction. For Jay, social activity is like plugging a charger into his brain. The more he talks, laughs, and moves, the more alive he feels. His classmates see him as fun, fast, and bold. Now let's meet Anne, a calm, thoughtful observer. While others sprint across the playground, Anne sits under a tree, watching the scene unfold. She enjoys people, but from a distance, she notices details others miss: a broken shoelace, a quiet kid eating alone, a bird hopping between branches. After school, Anne likes gardening. She plants herbs, studies how leaves unfold, and experiments with sunlight. She learns deeply, quietly, privately. Anne isn't shy at all. She can talk comfortably with seniors, adults, and anyone who approaches her, but she needs meaningful interaction, not loud chatter. When conversations are shallow or chaotic, she feels her energy drain. Her brain becomes overstimulated, and she retreats inward to recharge. Silence fills her like a battery. If Jay is a firework, bright, loud, attention-grabbing, then Anne is a candle flame, steady, warm, and glowing quietly. Some observers look at Anne walking away and assume she's shy or insecure. But she isn't afraid of people. Her withdrawal comes from internal overload, not fear. Meanwhile, some assume Jay is careless or loud because he wants attention. But often, he simply expresses himself through action and connection. Now imagine the two of them ask the same question by a tourist. How do I get to the central station? Jay answers instantly, pointing in 3 directions, offering multiple possibilities, remembering places he visited, but not quite clearly. His brain works quickly, firing off fast associations. Anne waits quietly. She visualizes the map in her mind. She considers the most efficient route, and then she delivers a clear, accurate answer. Jay is fast. Anne is deep. Both bring different strengths. Some researchers propose that extroverts rely more on short-term memory networks, producing quick responses and rapid associations. Introverts, however, may rely more on long-term memory pathways, allowing them to retrieve complex information with greater accuracy. This is why Anne pauses. Her mind reaches down deeper, pulling richer data. Neither system is better. They simply serve different purposes. Good teachers understand this. When a teacher asks, "Who knows the answer?" Jay's hand flies up immediately, even if he's not entirely sure. Anne knows the answer too, but she needs a few extra seconds to formulate it. This doesn't mean Jay is smarter or more confident. It means Anne's brain is building a multi-layered response. If the teacher always rewards speed, Anne's strengths become invisible. But if the teacher says, "Let's take 30 seconds of silent thinking," suddenly Anne shines, and Jay learns to gather his thoughts before speaking. In brainstorming sessions, if everyone shouts ideas at once, extroverts dominate and introverts disappear into the background. But when the group uses a talking stick or a written brainstorming method, the room transforms. Anne contributes thoroughly thought-out ideas, and Jay builds on them with enthusiasm. Together, they form a team with both depth and speed, reflection and energy. In one class project, the teacher pairs Jay and Anne together. Jay brings bold ideas, wild concepts, and rapid-fire imagination. Anne refines them, structures them, challenges them, and improves them. Jay learns the value of thinking before acting. Anne learns to speak sooner and accept imperfect drafts instead of waiting for perfect ones. The combination is powerful. In the next project, the teacher groups all extroverts together, and suddenly, the room becomes a storm. They bounce ideas, argue loudly, interrupt each other, and come up with 5 creative but unfinished solutions. Eventually, they realize they need to slow down and structure their thoughts. Meanwhile, the introvert group works quietly, almost too quietly. They produce excellent ideas, but struggle to express and share them. They learn they must speak out, even if it feels uncomfortable. Both groups grow by facing their weaknesses. Now let's jump to Jerome Kagan's research. Kagan studied temperament in hundreds of babies. When he introduced loud noises or strange smells, about 20% reacted strongly. They cried, tensed up, became overstimulated. These babies often grew into more introverted children. Meanwhile, babies who barely reacted, those calm, low-reactive ones, often grew into more extroverted personalities. It wasn't destiny, but it showed how biology plays a role long before personality becomes visible. This doesn't mean personality is fixed. Experience, environment, parenting, and culture reshape us. But temperament gives us a starting point, an initial direction on the compass of life. And here's the truth society often forgets. Introverts and extroverts are equally valuable. Without extroverts, we'd have fewer leaders, performers, connectors, and social catalysts. Without introverts, we'd have fewer writers, thinkers, scientists, and strategists. Extraverts push the world forward. Introverts hold the world steady. One shines outward, one shines inward. Both lights matter. So what about you? Maybe you're like Jay, energized by people, fast with words, loud with joy. Or maybe you're like Anne, thoughtful, observant, and deeply connected to your inner world. Or maybe you're an ambivert, someone who shifts, depending on mood, environment, and the people around you. There's no right answer. There's no better type. There is only awareness, and the power it gives you to understand yourself and others. The next time someone seems too loud, remember they might just be looking for stimulation. The next time someone seems too quiet, remember they may simply be thinking deeply. We are shaped differently, and that is the beauty of human diversity. Thank you for watching Brain Buds, where big ideas grow from simple explanations. If you enjoyed today's story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, do you see yourself as an introvert, an extrovert, or something in between?